Do you remember the page number? Anyone?
Forty, sir.
40. 40 is this page. So we have done till purchases through petty advance. Okay, we explained the what is known as centralized inventory system or centralized store system, and we have also explained what is known as decentralized. Decentralized system, decentralized store system is rarely used, but there are some factories which uses them. Okay, so journal entries for inventory transaction are: first is the inventory purchase. You will debit the raw material or merchandise, and accounts payable will be created. And to record the indirect production cost in overhead, overhead cost pool is debited and accounts payable is credited. Record the production labor in overhead, overhead cost pool is debited and wage expenses credited. So this way, I have done the accounting. Well, these accounting are used for costing purposes and no more. So accordingly, these costing entries are passed in 2% to 3% of the organizations. Okay, so we will start from issue of material from stores. So material is received, responsibility is upon the storekeeper, and he will issue the material to whosoever needs it or whosoever sends the indent. Material received and stored are issued on the basis of store requisition, comma, bills of material, comma, store in balance. So he will issue the material to person who will send the indent, and that has to be properly authorized, proper authorization and pricing material issued, etc. It is clear that ascertainment of accurate material cost, fixing of material issue, and effective cost control are the primary objective in order to fulfill the needs of management. So, actually speaking, the management does the cost control, and effective cost control is managed and done by the management. Material costing is very important in terms of the valuation of the cost of material consumed by the production department, as well as terms of the estimation of the value of material in stock. So storekeeper stores the material and he issues to person who has intended for it, and he issues the material and the balance he keeps in the stores. For costing purposes, the material cost is worked out by the actual cost incurred by taking price quoted by the supplier as the basis, subtracting the discount, adding any other expenses not covered. So he will add all those expenses which are not covered by earlier bills. Issue of material are based on the production program. Based on this, the bill of material, work orders are printed, listing for each material quantity to be issued against each component requiring that material. The storekeeper is very much concerned with the material control as he is responsible for the issue of material based on the proper authorization of material acquisition and bills of material. So he is responsible for the material requisition. So he is responsible for material requisition and correspondingly the bills of material. So storekeeper is issuing the material and he is responsible for two things: proper authorization and the bills of material. Okay. So material acquisition क्या होता है? Material acquisition, purchase of material acquisition is also known as the intent for material. Intent होता है INDENT. तो यहाँ पर स्पेलिंग लिखे हुए हैं गलत, इंटेंट लिखा हुआ है, बट आपको बुक में मिलेगा इंडेंट. This is a document prepared by the production department for requisition of material is known as material requisition. So जो भी कोई material के लिए request करता है स्टोर कीपर को, तो उसके लिए वो इंडेंट भेजता है. Whosoever request the storekeeper for the material, he will have to send the requisition or the material indent in 3 copies, and he has to take sign of his senior or the manager that he needs certain material. The storekeeper is authorized to issue the material based on the proper authority. So storekeeper is issuing the material, but he should have the proper authority to avoid the misappropriation of material. So the material cost is very much, so he has to protect the material from any losses, and he will issue only to the requisition, and that is authorized by his manager. Okay. The storekeeper is responsible to maintain a serial number on requisition, issues, and stock balance up to date must be posted in the store ledger. So he will uh, sign the counter receipt, and he has to give a number to the material requisition, and suppose he issues 10 quantities, then balance to be left is tallied with the store ledger and the store is up to date. Okay. Bill of material is a document which shows a complete listing of each material. So bill of material क्या है? Bill of material is a document which shows a complete listing for each material, quantity to be issued against each component requiring that material for a particular job order or process. Bill of material is prepared in the production department. Bill of material कहाँ prepare होता है? Production department. Before the quantity of the components we manufactured, this is helpful for the purpose of initiate material acquisition and estimation of the cost material to collect the quotation. Okay, आपको मैं क्वेश्चन देता हूं. ये नहीं है. Uh, okay, question for you is calculate the EOQ from the following. A, annual consumption is 6,000 units. Cost of ordering is 60. Carrying cost is 2. You are required to calculate the EOQ. Can you calculate this? Can you calculate this, or should I tell you the answer of this? Can you calculate this? Calculate the EOQ from the following. Annual consumption is 6,000 unit. Cost of ordering is 60 and carrying cost is rupees 2. Solution is 2A B upon C. A is annual consumption, B is ordering cost, C is carrying cost. So 2 into 6,000 into 60 by 2. EOQ is equal to 600 units. Okay. From the following particulars, calculate the EOQ. Annual requirement is 1,600 units. Cost of material is rupees 40. Cost of placing and receiving one order is 50, and annual carrying cost of inventory value is 10%. So calculation of this is 2 into A into B upon C. EOQ is 2, 1,600 into 50 rupees divided by 40 into 10%. Okay. EOQ is 200 units. Calculate the EOQ from the following. Consumption during the year is 600 units. Ordering cost is 12 per order. Carrying cost is 20%. And selling price per unit is rupees 20. Okay. 2 into A is 600 into ordering cost 12 per unit divided by 1 into 10%. Okay. ऐसे करके कुछ क्वेश्चंस बनाए हुए हैं, मैं आपको ग्रुप में डाल देता हूँ. If you are in the WhatsApp group, so please do these questions. Okay, we'll do these questions if you get the time. So, what are the methods in which the stock is issued? We have so many methods, and we'll do method one by one. First is FIFO. So, second is LIFO. This LIFO is not being used. Third is specific price. And fourth is base stock. Fifth is HIFO. HIFO is not at all used. Sixth is simple average. Seventh is weighted average. Eighth is periodic simple average. Ninth is periodic weighted average. 10th is standard price. 11th is inflated price. और 12th is market price और replacement cost. FIFO में मैंने आपको बताया था कि जो स्टॉक पहले आता है, जो उसकी प्राइस लिखते हैं, वही स्टॉक पहले जाता है. FIFO means first you will completely issue the first stock, and that is the normal chain. LIFO क्या करते हैं? LIFO में लास्ट स्टॉक पहले इशू होता है और जो बच जाता है वो क्लोजिंग स्टॉक होता है. ओके, स्पेसिफिक प्राइस में क्या करते हैं? स्पेसिफिक प्राइस में जैसे आपने गाड़ी की सर्विसिंग करानी है, उसके लिए वो आपको पार्ट्स रिप्लेस करके देंगे और उसमें आपकी गाड़ी में मान लीजिए 6 पार्ट्स लगे और 6 पार्ट्स की प्राइसिंग वो आप पे चार्ज करते हैं. तो स्पेसिफिक प्राइस इज मेंट फॉर कार सर्विसिंग या गाड़ी सर्विसिंग जो करते हैं. और बेस स्टॉक में जो उनके पास बेस स्टॉक होता है उसकी एक कॉस्ट होती है और उसके बेसिस पे कॉस्टिंग होती है. और सिंपल एवरेज जो 1 महीने का एवरेज देखेंगे और उस पे हम निकालते हैं. वेटेड एवरेज में जो स्टॉक की प्राइसिंग है उसकी क्वांटिटी भी यूज करते हैं. क्वांटिटी इनटू द प्राइस इज यूज फॉर वेटेड एवरेज. चलिए, LIFO हो गया, FIFO हो गया. Specific price in this method adopted where the materials are purchased for a particular job or operation, the issue is charged with the actual price cost. तो जो आपके प्रोडक्ट में जो भी पार्ट्स लगे हैं उसका एक्चुअल प्राइस आपको पता लग जाएगा. This method is suitable only in case of special purpose materials are purchased. जो कॉस्टिंग होती है उसमें जो स्पेसिफिक प्राइस मेथड है हम यूज नहीं करते हैं. सिर्फ 1-2 केसेस में यूज होता है जहां पर आपके लिए उसने स्पेसिफिक प्राइस, स्पेसिफिक चीज मंगवाई है, उसी की प्राइस आपको लगेगी. This method has been widely used in job order industries which carried out individual jobs or contract against specific orders. फिर होता है बेस स्टॉक मेथड. Under this method, pricing is determined on the basis of assumption made here is that a certain minimum quantity of material is maintained in stock. So certain minimum quantity of the material is maintained in the stock. This minimum quantity is also known as base stock or safety stock. This quantity cannot be used unless emergency. The minimum stock is the nature of fixed asset because it is created out of the first lot of material purchase. Therefore, it is always valued at the actual price cost or the first price cost and is carried forward as fixed asset. This method is usually applied with FIFO basis. So LIFO is not applied for, FIFO is applied for. अब चौथा मेथड है हाईएस्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट. इसमें क्या करते हैं? इसमें जो मटेरियल का जो हाईएस्ट कॉस्ट है आपको एक मटेरियल आया 10 रुपए, एक आया 12 रुपए, एक आया 14 रुपए। 14 रुपए का मटेरियल हाईएस्ट है, वो पहले लगेगा। फिर उसके बाद सीक्वेंसली सेकंड लार्जेस्ट, फिर थर्ड लार्जेस्ट, फिर फोर्थ लार्जेस्ट, ऐसे करके sequentially लगता है। The method is based on the assumption that the stock of material should always be valued at lowest possible price. जो आपका closing stock है, that is valued at the lowest price. Accordingly, material purchased at the highest price should be used for making the issue. जो highest material होगा वो ही issue होगा quantity पे, और जो स्टॉक रहेगा वो रहेगा मिनिमम स्टॉक। ओके, दिस मेथड इज यूजफुल because issues are based on actual cost. It aims at recording the highest cost of material when the market is constantly, अगर आपकी कॉस्ट बहुत ज्यादा फ्लक्चुएट करती है तो ये मेथड फिर भी यूज होता है। बट if the same method involves too many complicated calculations and this method has not been adopted widely, पूरे वर्ल्ड में ये वाला मेथड वाइडली अडॉप्ट नहीं है। फिर करते हैं सिंपल एवरेज। अंडर दिस मेथड prices of the issue materials is determined by dividing the total of the prices of the material stock, adding of different prices by the number of different prices. Thus, the average price is applied to the issue of production. तो वेटेड एवरेज में, सिंपल एवरेज में क्या है कि आपका सामान कोई भी आया हो, 10 क्वांटिटी या 1000 क्वांटिटी, आप प्राइसेस को एवरेज करेंगे। 14, 15, 16 का एवरेज है 15, दैट इज अ प्राइस टू बी यूज फॉर इशू ऑफ मटेरियल। लेकिन वेटेड एवरेज में आप 14 को उसकी क्वांटिटी से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, 15 को उसकी क्वांटिटी से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे और 16 को उसकी क्वांटिटी से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, क्योंकि आप चाहते हैं कि आपके जो एवरेज हो वो वेट करके आए। ठीक? ये देख लिया मैंने इशू प्राइस। वेटेड एवरेज में मटेरियल को वेट करते हैं, किससे? क्वांटिटी से वेट करके और उसकी प्राइस को निकाला जाता है। Under this method, the pricing of material issued is determined by dividing the cost of material in stock by the total quantity of material in stock. Here, weighted average rate is calculated based on both the quantity and price of material in stock. As more material issues are made, a new average rate is computed, and this average rate is applied to subsequent issues. The material issue price is calculated by the formula given below. Okay, उसका formula है value of material in stock by quantity in stock. Okay. Okay. पीरियोडिक वेटेड एवरेज में क्या होता है? दिस मेथड इज सिमिलर टू द पीरियोडिक सिंपल एवरेज मेथड. In this method, issue rate is calculated by total cost of material purchase during a period by the total quantity of material purchase. जो वेटेड के अंदर हम क्वांटिटी को लेते हैं और सिंपल एवरेज में हम क्वांटिटी को नहीं लेते हैं. During that period, however, both the quantity and the prices of material in a stock during a particular period are taken into account for calculation of periodic weighted average rate. Under this method, the issue rate is determined for a particular period. Ignoring the rate and quantity of opening stock, a new average rate is computed at the end of each period, say a month, and this average rate is applied to subsequent issues. स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस में क्या करते हैं? अंडर दिस मेथड, स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस ऑफ मटेरियल इश्यूज आर कैलकुलेटेड on the basis of detailed analysis of market prices and trend. जो स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस है वो आप निकालते हैं. स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस इज somewhat similar to the prices of the actual material. The standard price, also referred to as predetermined price, or is listed for a definite period of 6 months or more. Accordingly, the material issue is done on the basis of a standard price, irrespective of the actual rate. The difference between actual price and standard price is known as material variance. At the end of the period, new standard price is fixed for a further period. So आपको स्टैंडर्ड प्राइस में मटेरियल इशू करना पड़ेगा. इन्फ्लेटेड में जो आप जो प्राइस आप मटेरियल करते हो लेते हो उसको इन्फ्लेट करते हैं 10% या 20% के बीच में. दिस मेथड इज यूज टू कवर मटेरियल लॉसेस on account of obsolescence, deterioration, and material handling expenses. Under this method, cost of material issue, such losses and expenses are directly charged to material cost. Therefore, when the issue of material is made, the price is inflated to cover all the losses and expenses. अब चलते हैं market price पे. This method is known as market price, replacement price. तो मार्केट प्राइस कहाँ यूज होता है? जैसे गोल्ड की आपने आइटम ले ली, गोल्ड पे रोज ही डिफरेंट प्राइसेस होते हैं और प्राइसेस कैसे डिटरमाइन होते हैं? जो न्यूज़पेपर में आता है, न्यूज़पेपर में जो रेट आएगा वही गोल्ड का प्राइस होगा. अंडर दिस मेथड, issue materials that are valued at the market rate prevailing at the time of issue. It therefore follows that when prices increases, the stock is continuously underestimated because receipts at cost at actual and higher at and issued at higher rate. तो यहाँ पर कोई गड़बड़ हो सकती है. उसमें जो बेस्ट तरीका है वो आप अखबार से लीजिए प्राइसेस, और प्राइसेस जो मटेरियल इशू है वो भी आप उससे मल्टीप्लाई करिए, और जो मटेरियल इन स्टॉक है वो भी आप उनसे करिए. ठीक है, अभी टाइम खत्म होता है, क्लासेस बंद करते हैं. ठीक है.